Time for a stream. We're going to open up the second Element truck tonight and see what it's like. Basically, hopefully it's better than the first one. Now, I've had some people whinge, bitch and moan and carry on at me about my experience in the hobby and all these sorts of things because I gave an honest review of these trucks. Excuse me. If you don't like an honest review and you'd rather just watch a fluffed up piece of garbage that someone's said because they were given a truck, go and watch one. That's fine. If you want to go and buy a truck because someone said it's the bee's knees when in actual fact it's not, fine. Okay? That's all well and good. I'm not just going to sit down and accept receiving trucks with scratches and shit all over the body. I'm not going to accept having flimsy, terrible quality plastics when this truck costs more than that truck and that truck is better. Okay? Just want to clear some of this stuff up. There's too many people out there that try and put piss on what I do because they don't agree with something. Okay? If you don't agree with what I say, that's fine. My opinion is just that. If you don't like it, go elsewhere. Okay? I've literally just removed 2 people from the BCRC group, and I hate doing it, but I've removed 2 people because all they seem to want to do is hunt for childish nonsense and argue about every single thing I say or do. If that's the sort of person you are, you're not a BCRC sort of person. Okay? We help people. We encourage people to do the best they possibly can. We're in the hobby for the right reasons, okay? If you're the sort of person that loves to whinge, bitch, moan and carry on, that loves to try and assume everything you've got's better than other people, leave. I'd rather have you not in the group than have that sort of person in the group bringing down other people, okay? If you don't like it, tough. Yeah, apparently I'm fresh, new guy at the hobby, okay? I've never built anything. I've never driven anything. I've never spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars doing anything to do with this hobby. Okay? Now, I understand that I do less custom builds now than what I used to. Okay? I do less hand-built fabrication stuff than I used to. And what people need to understand is that's because of everything I've got going on. Okay? My back is shagged from a work injury. I'm doing the best I can to do what I can every day, given the pain I'm in. I'm trying to do stuff like giveaways and such to help build up the community and to help give more people new fun toys and trucks to have, okay? I've got so much going on, it's hard for me to sit down with a few pieces of styrene, cut and shut and glue it together. Simple. And also, people need to remember, and I'm sorry for the rant, but some people just really like to try and push my buttons, okay? There's certain trucks out there that I want to just buy and build because I love the hobby, okay? I don't have to custom build everything. I'm in the hobby because I love what it's about. I love the people I meet. I love being able to have an idea in here and pump it out into one of these trucks and go from here to here, okay? I love these sorts of things. Please don't just join a group, and whinge, bitch, moan and carry on because you may do more custom stuff than I do. That's fine. Good on you. I hope it works out. If you're not a BCRC kind of person, there's the door, okay? Sorry, but certain people just like to try and push my buttons, and I'm not going to stand for it, okay? If you constantly try and start shit in the group, you're gone. That simple. It's as simple as that, Pete. Okay. Lovely. Just confirms everything I was talking about. So, what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this truck. We're not going to do a full-blown dive-in unboxing because we've already done it, okay? We're going to open this truck up and essentially it's a quality check. So, for those that don't know, I took the first truck out of the box and my heart sunk, okay? My heart sunk. I spent a lot of money to get these trucks here so we could give them away. Now I know the stream raised $350, which was awesome. The postage alone cost Australian $410. The rest of the money for the trucks came out of my pocket. So I got a discount in the trucks, but it wasn't the discount I was told I was going to get. If you want to find out all that information, watch the original big stream. All the info's there. I've just started, William. Just started, mate. So essentially what today is, I want to open this up and I want to see what the condition's like compared to the first one, because when I opened the first one, there were scratches and shit all over the body and my heart sunk because I hate the idea. RC Jump Club's just subscribed. Thanks for subscribing, mate. Much appreciated. I hate the idea of sending out a brand new truck to someone that is scratched up, because I'm going to send them the disappointment that I got, if that makes sense. Okay, if I send someone a brand new truck, I want them to open it and have that brand new truck feeling. So, cross your fingers. Okay, I know Element watched my previous stream. Good, my print's working. I know Element watched the previous stream. I haven't yet heard back from them. I got one message saying, have you tried calling customer service? And my reply was, it's not that simple when you live in Australia. Okay, if I live in America, I could probably call customer service and they'd send me out a body, because it's cheap enough for them to post one straight across the same piece of dirt. For them to post me a body, it would cost around $100 US. I've had people say to me, I'll just send it back, mate. Do you realise how much money it costs to post a truck from here to America? And don't forget, I still have to pay the postage on the winners' trucks to send them the trucks. How much money do I have to spend to give a truck away that should be brand new? How much? Anyway, let's not get bogged down with who said what and all that. Let's get straight into it. This is not a big fancy whoop-de-doo stream. We're just going to... I've got some prints going. I may smash a set of bead locks on one of these trucks, because I've got these wheels here, which are going to go on one of the trucks, and I'm going to pick another set of bead locks that I've got in my collection of bead locks and put on the other truck, because I feel bad that the trucks have got scratches on them. As dumb as it sounds, I feel like it's on my shoulders, because I'm giving you the truck. So I'm going to put a set of bead locks on the truck, so that when you get them, we are family friendly here, mate. Shit's as bad as far as we go. Okay? I'm sure you know that one anyway, William. I'm sure you do. I'm going to put a set of bead locks on each truck, because I feel bad about the scratches. I don't have to, I know I don't, but it's almost like the bead locks will sort of take away a bit from the scratches, at least on the first truck. So yeah. Right. Now, if you want to know all the features and details on this truck, I suggest you watch the first stream I did. I know it's long. I know it is. But it's long for a good reason. I want to get across all the possible details that I can. I give everyone my opinion, which is just that. If you don't agree with my opinion, that's fine. If you want to go out and buy this truck, go and buy it. That's fine. Undo the 100,000 sticker tabs on this box. If you don't know, this box actually unfolds to make a scale garage. God, how many is there? I think I've done them all. So, cross your fingers. That's got to be that way. Cross your fingers and let's hope there's no scratches on this body. I really hope there's not. And I hope for you guys that there's no scratches on this. For you guys, not for me. It's not as bad, but the scratches all across the front of the cab. Bloody hell. How do I enter the giveaway? I'll give all the details shortly, mate. Okay. So we'll essentially do this like a quick unboxing. Underneath here, we have the controller. Andrew's joined us. Morning, Andrew. Thanks for joining, mate. Morning in the UK. How's things? All right. Wicked. In here we have the controller. I'll quickly get it out and show you. For those that haven't seen it. Okay. This is the controller. Pretty straightforward. Pretty bulky, if I'm honest. Pretty simple, straightforward deal. 4 AA batteries, all your typical dials and knobs on top. It is what it is. If you want a detailed description about it, exactly, yesterday's stream's the one to watch. And then we've also got in there some paperwork on how to use it, etc., which is pretty run-of-the-mill. Obviously, I'm rushing through this stuff because this is not really what I'm interested in looking at. I want to look at the truck up close and personal. So there's that. One of the best features with these, the big sticker sheet. I love the big sticker sheet, thought it was brilliant. The instruction book's good, thought that was brilliant too. So I didn't shit on everything about this truck, okay? The sticker sheet is awesome. The instruction manual's good, shows all the things you need. Again, with this one, I don't know why, apparently someone in the cutting room has slipped up. The front page of this book is about this much too thin. Don't know why, but anyway, it doesn't affect the book, it's just one of those things. So that's that. And then in this little baggie, this is the second one. In this bag we have the extra set of overdrive gears. We have a full-size battery tray, which is excellent. I'm glad that's in there. As far as the gears go, I personally would have preferred if they give us one set of overdrive gears and one set of 1-1 gears. That's just me. So if you're someone that doesn't like overdrive, then you can change it out in your truck's normal 4x4. And then we've got the tall body post, should you want to change your body to a full SUV style body, which is good. Right. Okay. I'm going to take the truck out. I'm going to take the truck out. Ooh. Undo clip. Undo. Okay. I did clip that, didn't I? Not quite through. Okie dokes. So, this is the second truck. We just sit that there. Okay, so the scratches, it's not as bad as the first one, but there is scratches and what looks like dirty marks across the roof. So obviously this, now, I've seen a lot of posts in the last 24 hours about people having this exact same problem and worse. So before anyone sits there and says, oh, he's just bitching about a few scratches, it's not just me, this is a big problem, okay? You buy a brand new truck, it should be shiny and new. If you buy a brand new truck, it shouldn't have scratches all over the roof. Can we see the bumper? Yes. You can see everything you want to see. The bumper's the same as the last one. Alright, close up cam. And we're going to see how well we can focus in on this stuff. Okay. This is how the bumper looks. Remember, this is brand new out of the box. I've not touched anything. Okay? Yeah, just 1/10 scale, William. So I don't know. I can only imagine this is happening before they're fitted to the cars. Perhaps there's a massive box of these bumpers and to grab one out, people are just diving their hand in there. Because this has to be happening before it hits the car. Something I do want to check. The body posts. Awesome, the body posts are straight. That's a positive. I'm glad. I'm happy about that. Again on the roof, I'll see if I can show you guys. Now people have been bitching at me because of my opinion on this, so you let me know in the comments if you think this is okay to release a truck with stuff like this on the roof. Okay? You let me know. Because I have people, this is the second truck. Now I have people, select for you people, I mean the scratches all over the actual roof. It's a bit hard for me to try and show them, but no. I mean, if these things sat in the box long enough, David, they would be weathered. So the scratches aren't as bad, okay? But they are still there, which it's a brand new truck. It's not good enough. If I could make a suggestion to Element, I'm not being a smart ass, okay? That's simple. Put a plastic bag on it. That's all it takes. That's 20 cents worth of bubble wrap. Mr. Chris Leach says that's disgusting. I personally think it is. Some others out there don't agree with me. Hannah says, yikes, that's bad. Now, before I go on to, no, it's not okay, it's a few $100s. It's $350 US, which is 550 odd Australian dollars. Okay? So, for all of you guys out there, 550 Australian dollars. Are you happy for it to turn up with scratches and shit all over the body? Because I know I'm not. This is just my opinion. Let's all remember that. Now you'll hear the printers going. I'm printing a chassis brace for this truck. I've already installed one in the other one. Then I'm going to be printing out my design for the clamp system that holds the tub and the body together. Any round body post basically will fit it. The actual ones were the old ones. I can't remember about the 10.2s. But the old ones had flats on the corners. They'll probably fit anyway. Okay, so I'm going to take the body off. Being as careful as I can not to scratch it. Because this one's in better condition than the other one. Not much, but better. I just don't get why it looks like it's brown under there. Maybe if I bought it off market, if I bought it second hand, I wouldn't give a shit. Okay? Simple as that. If I bought it second hand, wouldn't have cared. I bought these trucks directly from Element RC themselves. Now I had a member from Element message me last night, or commented on one of my posts and said, have you tried calling customer service? Do you know how much it would cost me to call customer service? I'm in Australia. I can't just call customer service like an American customer can do and instantly have a body sent out. Okay? It's going to cost a lot more money than that. Okay, unplug this little light kit here. Now, one of the reasons... Hans is with us. Hello, Hans. One of the reasons I'm making a bracket for the body is because of this. I'll hold it this way so you guys can see it. Okay, the bracket that holds these bodies together is two little strips of plastic, which clearly doesn't do the job. I've designed a bracket that goes the full length across the cab and then some, so it will pinch the cab and the body together all the way across evenly. Okay. Okay, so they're not ripped out. There is a slight crack on that side. What I'm talking about here. And this is only because of other people have shown me pictures of their truck, etc. This has just started to crack. I don't know how well you'll see it. You probably won't really. This body is slightly better, Hans, but it's still got scratches and shit on the roof. That shows you a bit of it. I mean, it's just not good enough. It's just not. Now I know there's lots of people that have taken these trucks out and they've driven and they've gone, oh wait till you drive it though. I'm sure it'll drive just fine. Okay? I'm sure it will. Given the quality of the materials used to build the truck, I don't know how long it'll last. Because the quality's a subpart. And I'm going to give you a good example. Okay? Now I showed Hannah this today and she was shocked. Actually, before I even mentioned this piece, I showed Hannah the truck I opened yesterday. And she said, oh, is it ready to paint? She legit thought it was in primer. Because of that horrible grey. It's just... Anyway. Close-up cam. Okay, I want to give you a bit of an example of what the plastics are like on this truck. This is our servo mount. Now, for those that don't know, servo mount's a pretty integral piece of a truck. Okay? Now, I'm sure there's people out there that are going to question my ability and how long I've been in the hobby, yada yada. This is a pretty integral piece of the truck. I'm going to put my thumb on the servo. I'm going to hold the shock tower on the other side. And I'm just going to squeeze like this, okay? I want you to watch the shock tower and I want you to watch the servo plate. Now this is supposed to hold up to 2 servos. One for a winch and one for the steering servo. This is why I'm saying this truck has subpar materials. Okay? That is not good enough. It's just not. They do drive well. I've got one here. Well, I want to know how long it'll last, Ant. Mr. Steamboat Bob's joined us. Hello, Mr. Steamboat Bob. What a name. On point. The biggest reason I'm so disappointed in this truck is because, well, obviously the scratches. I mean, if you look at the bumper now you get the full hit of just what the front bumper's like. Oh, good question, Tristan. For those that don't know, I looked under the other truck yesterday and borderline looked like it had been driven. And this one's the same. We're already close up. I'm going to try and get this camera as close as I can. So that's what the diff case looks like. It looks like it's got dust and dirt. They look like they've been driven. Focus camera. It's disappointing. It's just disappointing. When I give something away, I want to give away the best possible thing I can. Okay? Regardless of whether it costs you $24 to enter or whether it costs you $10 or whatever. I want to give away the best possible thing I can so that when you get it, you're bloody excited. When Dylan got that FR4 cross truck, he said it's just changing people's lives. Well, he's that pumped up about that truck, which is epic. That's the whole big want behind all of this stuff. When I rebox these trucks, I will be putting bubble wrap in them because I do not want that to be any worse for when the people get the trucks. I'm going to be installing bead locks on the trucks. This truck will get the fancy bead locks. Maybe it was promo. Well, it doesn't make sense because it turned up in the big box. So there was 2 trucks in the one big box, which is generally speaking how the warehouse or the bloody excuse me, the manufacturer will send the truck to the warehouse to be sent out. The other box was dented, so it was obviously dented before it went in that big box and was shipped wherever. It's simple things that can make trucks better. Don't put licensed plastic bead locks on your truck. Don't put licensed tyres on it. Team Associated knows how to make their own stuff. Make your own tyres, make your own wheels. The money you've saved on that, put the hard plastic upgrades in the truck and put an extra chassis brace here in this massive chasm where there is none, because the truck just does this. And I'm not doing that hard. Okay? That's just a light twist. That's why I've designed, this is my rough print, that's why I've designed these. To go across here to stiffen this up. It needs to be stiffer so that your suspension works properly. Okay? It just does. And anyone out there that says, oh, chassis flex is really good, it's not. Because your chassis is not going to work properly, your suspension's not going to work properly. You tune your suspension because it's supposed to be a rigid frame rail truck. It's just how it is. So yeah, the body is better on this one, so I'm happy about that. This one doesn't even feel as doughy as the first one. So here's the first one, which I'll take the body off. Obviously it's in 2 pieces because I'm halfway through printing my design of the bracket. Set that down so it doesn't get any more scratches on it. Okay. So instantly you can see what I've done with my chassis brace. You have to have a chassis brace when you've got this big of a gap. You just have to. Otherwise, your truck twists too much. My next design, hopefully, all going well, is I'm going to make this not just a tiny little bar. It's going to be the same height. It's going to be wider. Okay? Make it wider. Help make everything more rigid. I can just twist this with my hand, and I shouldn't be able to. So, I'm going to do that. This is just all a part of... I want whoever wins these trucks to have the best possible hit of this truck. I'm not just sitting here whinging and bitching for the sake of it. The things I'm bringing up are real things. It must be different order of the stuff I use then, mate, because I use 30 weight in my trucks and it's not near as... This truck feels more doughy than this truck. Why? They're the same truck, the same oils, the same shocks. This is a bonus of having two, so we can compare, okay, how well are each of these trucks made? To look at, they look near identical, except this one's got more scratches front and rear and on the body. This one's got less scratches. This one doesn't have bent body posts. This one does. The suspension, I mean, you can see the difference. You can see the rebound speed's different. I mean, I'm not making this shit up. So yeah, I personally, and it's just my opinion again, I'm personally very disappointed with what this truck turned out to be because of how much hype it had, because of how many big names were saying, oh, this thing's game changer, it's the best thing in the world, it's got overdrive. I don't care about the overdrive. That's not one reason to yes or no buy a truck. You tell me if you would buy this truck if it didn't have overdrive. If you're going to buy the truck, you're going to buy it regardless of whether it's got overdrive or not. There is definitely a noticeable difference within those shocks. It's massively obvious. How slow is this compared to this one? Bent rods. They should all be the same, shouldn't they? Okay, we've got the same... no, this is the one I looked at yesterday. Okay, well there's an inconsistency. Or they put the link on the other way around. Sorry, what I'm talking about is... on this truck I noticed yesterday that there was two little gaps just here. And I was like, oh, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I'll wait until I pull the other truck out. And I did see one gap here, but the other one's here. So I assume if that rod was turned around, the gap would be the same, so that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, everything looks the same quality. I can only assume it's how the shocks have been constructed or how much oil's been put in them that's causing them to act that way, but this truck is definitely lazier in the suspension than that one. That feels heaps nicer than this. So, and this is what it comes down to as well. There's got to be quality control. There's no quality control for the body. There's no quality control for the scratches on the bumpers. I've got two trucks here that came in the same big box. So you would assume they're not going to grab one truck from this end of the warehouse and one truck from this end of the warehouse and put them in my box. These trucks are most likely right next to each other in the production line, so to speak. So why does this shock feel so much worse than this one? This one feels heaps nicer. I don't get it. I'm still pissed about the body, but it's not as bad. Shock's not bled properly. They put together. Quite possibly, mate. Quite possibly. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask whoever wins these trucks if they want me to do the shocks how I do them with my oil. Now, I can't guarantee they won't leak because apparently a lot of people that are changing the oil in these shocks are having them leak. So I think I've got some goo here for the rings which I can put around the rings and stuff, and hopefully that'll stop that. But if whoever wins them wants me to redo the shocks how I do them, then I can do that for them. I'll gladly do it. But there is a massive difference between those. And now something else I'm noticing too. Okay. Something else I'm noticing too. I said yesterday about the top front link was touching the steering arm. With this truck, if I push it right down, it's sitting on the steering arm right now. If I push this one right down, there's about 2.5 millimeters clearance. Why? It's the same truck, built in the same factory, built right next to each other. Why are they so different? I don't get it. They've both got the same amount of slop. This is actually working perfectly. I can show you what I mean. Providing my camera will stretch around here. Okay, if you look, grab my pointer. If you look down in here, you can see that link is touching this steering arm. Okay, you can see that it's touching it. Right? Now if I come to the next truck, I'll move that slightly backwards, this one slightly forward, so it's easier for me to show you. This truck, there's a gap. My so-called discount, mate, was well wiped out, trust me. You really need to watch yesterday's stream about the discount if you want to hear about that. But this link has 2.5 mil clearance from the steering link, which is how I assume it should be. This particular truck, that link, this link here, is touching the steering link. Why? That shouldn't be a thing. So, if there's anyone out there that wishes to doubt what I'm saying about the quality, the fit and finish, etc. of these trucks, you're welcome to doubt me. Go for your life. I showed yesterday on the stream how soft and weak the plastics are. I've shown on this stream, like even the servo mount. I should not be able to bend a servo mount with my thumb and finger. Shouldn't. The shocks do feel nicer on this truck. Oh, sorry, no, not this one. On this one. The shocks feel heaps nicer. It's still a bit smudgy, but it definitely feels nicer. And these trucks were literally made one after the other. This one is 008541. This one is 008542. Why are they so different when this was built just before this one? Maybe this was built before lunch and this was built after lunch. This was built Friday afternoon and this was built Monday morning. Is that how it goes? I mean, it's... the evidence is right here, people. I'm not making this shit up. These trucks feel totally different in the suspension. The steering arm's heaps of clearance on that one. It is hitting on this one. For anyone out there that's an expert rock crawler, competition crawler, whatever else, please explain to me. Why does the same truck that's built in the same factory, one model after the other, feel so different? I would love to know. Would love to know. Can I share a link real quick? Friday special. It's just a little bit more consistency, okay? I'm sure that's going to drive wonderfully. I'm sure it will. Are the steering links mounted on the same side of the mounting lugs? That's mounted underneath. That's mounted underneath. That's mounted underneath. That's mounted underneath. Yes, it's the same. See, it's mounted exactly the same. That's why I don't get it. I don't get it. If you do work at Element and you watch this, can you inform me why there's so much difference between the two? Because it doesn't make sense to me. I'm glad that one feels nicer in the suspension. I'm really glad. Really glad. I'm just a little gobsmacked as to why two identical trucks built one after the other feel so different. Interesting. Don't mind me, I'm just looking over stuff to see if there's anything obvious that looks different, if that makes sense. Well, everything else looks the same. Wait a minute. I think I know what it is. Right, you guys tell me if this is just my eyes or not. Let me sit this down here so it's out of my way for a moment. Alright, close up cam. Okay, I want you... Come on, camera. I want you guys to help me with this. I want to try and get this down as level as I can. Ooh, this is important. Are they the same angle? These two bolts? I don't know how fine the spline is between when you rotate the C-hubs. Perhaps one's rotated more? Maybe it's not, I don't know, but just... Wow, that's close. Don't look like it. Yeah, it's... I was just thinking perhaps one of those were clocked too much. And that may have been why it was touching. I'll have to check. Because that touches. Anyway. So the body is slightly better. It does still have scratches and stuff on it. Shrooms is with us. G'day, mate. Finally made it back to us, our live stream. Thanks for joining, buddy. Much appreciated. Bob says they're out. It's one of those things, Bob, where if it is, it's only one notch. And it's... To look at it by eye... I don't know if this is my eyes playing up. The diff case almost looks bent. So this one looks like it's... I think that one's rotated round one more than it needs to be. Anyway. We're on mainstream, lovely. Fun and games, people. Like I said, I'm just a little shocked at how different these two trucks are because one was built after the other one. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the factory wheels off it. This is the one I'm going to drive. I'm going to take out the one with the more scratched up body. I'm going to take that one out for my filming. I won't be running the chassis brace. I'm going to be running the truck as factory as it comes. And then after I bring it back, I'll put the chassis brace in it. I'm going to put a chassis brace in this truck too, which is printing right now. And then I'm going to put the body clamps that I've designed on both trucks. Possibly print out a dashboard for both of them or something like that, just so that but the one notch is enough. I reckon one notch is enough. And I reckon that's possibly the reason why this one doesn't hit and this one does hit. I think this side is clocked over one notch too much compared to the other side. Again, quality control. Why didn't someone look at that? Shouldn't touch it. But I get bashed on Facebook. My knowledge gets questioned because I point this stuff out. So you guys let me know if you'd rather me point this out or just go, look, a pretty grey truck. Go and buy it. It's got overdrive. I don't do that. So yes, we'll do it now on the stream. I'm going to smash some bead locks on this one, which I think is going to make a massive difference to how the body looks, because they're a light coloured wheel. I'm not huge on the factory wheels. We're going to put these on. So yeah, let's start ripping into that. Well, I'm glad you guys joined in because I know a lot of you guys wanted to see this stuff. Right, let's whip these off. Okie dokes. Grab me driver. I need this first. I'd still like to win one and have fun trying to get it better. Look, I'm sure whoever wins these trucks are going to love it. I've no doubt. I'm not sitting here saying it's a total piece of shit. What I'm saying is it's not refined enough for me to warrant spending full price money on it. That's why I said in yesterday's stream, do I think you should buy one? No. What I'm saying is, don't go and buy one brand new. If you can get one second hand, if you can win one, do it. Absolutely pointing the faults out. They're not a $50 truck. These things are 550 Australian dollar Shroomster. You let me know if you'd like scratches all over yours when it turns up at your doorstep. I mean, sadly, 2 people are going to have scratches on their trucks when it turns up. Because that's how they turned up here. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay. So, I'm going to pull these wheels apart, which is quite easily done with the correct driver. Going to add a footnote to the review I did. Having 2 next to each other is very illuminating. Yes. Yes, it is. It's quite surprising. They should be identical. Years ago, when Christian and I bought an SCX-10-2, we bought them both at the same time. They were identical. Absolutely identical. Not a scratch anywhere. The shocks were exactly the same on every single SCX-10-2 I'd come across. They were the same. Then we bought the TRX-4. Okay? We bought the TRX-4 at the same time. They were identical. No scratches. There was one little knob bump in the roof, but apparently all of the bodies had that. But there was no scratches. There was just that little weird bump. The shocks, exactly the same on both of them. These are so different, it's not funny. I think you would need to strip down and rebuild it correctly, make a video, then sand it. Well, I shouldn't have to. This is the thing a lot of people don't want to understand or don't want to take on board. I shouldn't have to 3D print a brace for this chassis because it's too flimsy. But I do. I feel like I have to because I want you guys to have a good version of this truck. It's like you spend this much money. And I was saying to Hannah earlier, right? Hannah came in and she looked at the truck and she was like, "What colour are you going to paint it?" It's like, "Sorry, sweetheart, that's painted." And she went, "What?" She said it that loud that the neighbours would have heard it. She was gobsmacked. She's like, there's no way it's that colour, is it? Sorry, but it is. It's RTR. I know it's RTR. Yeah, exactly. I shouldn't have to touch anything. I should just be able to plug a battery in and go. Ready to rebuild. Nicely done, Ant. Nicely done. Alright, the tyres I like. I like the feel of the tyres. I like the look of the tyres. They are slightly too big for the body because it grabs the crap out of the body, and that's... You just don't do that, in my opinion. For whatever that's worth. Right. Pop this out, pop our little plastic... Is that plastic? Yep. So that's our plastic bead locks pulled apart. Where's my little cloth? There it is. This is a little cloth I use so that I don't wreck the front of these wheels. Because they're pretty wheels. It gives you a bit of an idea of how much pride I take in the stuff I own. So I don't want to send something that looks like shit to someone else. Okie dokes. So like I said, Elements watched the stream from yesterday. I'm yet to receive a message as to whether they... I'm sure they didn't appreciate it. But I didn't do it for them to appreciate. I did it for people going out there to spend their money, to watch it, and get a proper idea of what the truck's like. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff Element could take away from what I said in the stream. That looks better already. Oh. It's just, it all comes down to whether people want to accept the fact that the stuff I said about the plastics being too weak is true. Can I use that? Okay. The stuff I said about the plastics being too weak is true. The body, it not being good enough for a body to turn up scratched is true. And it is. It's just true. Your body should not turn up covered in scratches. And if someone from a company is to contact you in regards to an issue you are having, I don't want them to say to me, have you tried calling customer service? I want them to think to themselves, I'm a representative of this company. I will do my utmost to make sure this person's happy. If I worked for Element and I seen, example, Shroomster did the stream that I did yesterday, I would personally contact him and say, what can I do to make this right? I can understand that you're giving away these trucks and you want them to be as perfect as possible. How can I make that happen? What's your address? I'll send you the bodies. I'll send you new bumpers. You know, I'll make it so this truck is the perfect representation of what we designed. Oh, so much better. I think you guys are going to like the look of these wheels on this truck. Providing, I hope they don't hit the steering. They shouldn't. They should. So for those wondering what the wheels are that we're using, they're Trill Hobby wheels. And you can see how simple they are to put together. Nice, quick and easy. Right, take off my little scale hub, which I pray fits after we've installed it. If it doesn't, I'll go and buy some thicker hexes so that they do. How you going, printer? Good, smashing it out, 36%, awesome. Okie dokes. I think that should fit just fine, which is good. Pop my wheel on. And then I'll check my steering clearance. How do the links look? How much of the screw heads are holding each of the rear axles in place? The links look okay. One of them, compared to the other truck, we held them next to each other. One of them was, dumb as it sounds, the gap was flipped around the other way, which I know is nothing. It was just, it threw me off for a second because I thought, oh, maybe one's shorter than the other one, but I don't think it is. I mean, the links themselves are nice. It's just a matter of checking the gaps between both trucks to see if they're both the same. We have noticed already that the suspension on this truck feels much nicer than the first truck. These trucks were made in series. This is 008542. The other one is 008541. So, a little surprised that there's so much difference in feeling and quality control, I guess, between the two. The steering link doesn't hit the third link on this truck in the front, but on the other truck it does. So, go figure. Alright. My brother's was big gapped because it caused the tyre to hit the front bumper. I'll check that in a minute. So that shouldn't be a thing too. Both the bumpers are set to the same hole. But and it's one of those things, Jim. Someone could quite easily say to you, "I'll just move the bumper forwards one." I shouldn't have to. It's a ready to run truck. I should be able to drive it and the tyres don't hit anything. You know, it's... Perhaps some people have higher standards than others. But if I buy a ready to run truck, I want to put a battery in it and drive it. I don't want to have to spend an hour adjusting everything so that I can drive it. Oh, well, that just sets it way off. What do you think of those wheels? Compared to those wheels, that is heaps nicer. Doesn't hit the bumper. And funnily enough, I don't know if it's because of the offset of these wheels, but the tyres don't rub as bad on the guards either. It has to be the offset of the wheels. It's the only thing I've changed. So, Element, perhaps just change the offset of your wheels and you'll eliminate half the body roll. Those wheels on this truck make that grey bearable. Hi guys, no YouTube notification, so I guess I've missed some stuff. Not heaps, mate. We unboxed. We did a quick unboxing of the second truck. There is more scratches on the roof, scratches on the bumpers, that sort of thing. The shocks feel better in this one than they did the previous one, which is weird. But it is what it is. I'm just going to quickly put this wheel back together. That way, yep. Quickly going to put this wheel back together so I can put it in the box with the truck. Feel free to jump in there. Dearly. That way. That way. Line all these up. This looks heaps better. Oh, I'm pumped. I'm so glad. Because it's one of those things, like, I know it sounds dumb to a lot of people, but I won't feel as bad sending that truck out now because it's got those wheels on it and they make it look so much better. If you love the factory wheels, that's fine. Overall, I am happy with this truck. The fit and finish seems a lot better on this truck than the first one. Obviously, the quality of the parts is still the same because they're the same. But amazingly, for two trucks that are built one after the other, the difference is monumental. Still says as a precaution, add washers to the retaining screws for the rear axles. You mean just behind the hexes? Yes, I did see someone post about that the other day. So for those that don't know, when I pull bead locks apart and change them, I always put the factory bead, you know, I've always put the one I've taken off back together with the bolt so that you don't lose any pieces. I could easily just smash this in a bag and throw it in the box for whoever wins the truck, but I'm not that big of an ass. Now you will notice YouTube has put super chats back on in the chat thing there. There's a little dollar sign. Essentially what super chats are a tip for me. So should you want to give me a tip, it goes through super chat. If you want to donate to the cause, there's a link in the description. I'm going to see if I can remove super chats again because they're just confusing. Essentially, if you do a super chat between $1 and $4.99, there's no deal about it. If you spend $5 to $10, there is a deal about it. It'll highlight your comment in the chat and like on the screen as well. If you spend like $50, for example, it'll put your chat up on screen for longer and all these sorts of things. James has joined us. Hello, James. Finally caught you in a live chat, mate. Good stuff. How's things, mate? But yes, overall, Adam, this truck, the quality control issues though, it's still got scratches on the roof. It's still got scratches on the bumper. The rear bumper's not as bad. This truck is better than the first one, which makes me feel bad for whoever wins the first one we unboxed. But I'm going to do my best to make sure both of these trucks are as pretty and as smooth running as possible. I'm sure whoever wins it will love it anyway. I watched the replay anyway. Well, I skipped through the start of it. You know, it was pretty quick getting it out of the box because I wanted to see what it was like. Again, there was the initial, oh Jesus, because it's got marks and stuff across the front and scratches across the roof. The body posts aren't bent, so that's good. I'm happy with that. Like I said, this truck is a marked improvement over the first one we unboxed, which is good, but it is also worrying because how many people out there are getting the bad, we'll say, for now, the bad version compared to the half-decent version? I still think the truck needs improvements. There's no two ways about it. But this one is an improvement over the first one we unboxed. Oh, jeez. Why is it the rear covers on the back of these wheels are impossible to get undone? The same thing happened on that one. Let me try this side. Are they using Loctite on them? Okay, so one undoes easily and the rest is going to fight me apparently. I don't want to put pliers on them, but I think I'm going to have to. Let me try this with this. They should just unscrew. I'll tell you what I'll do. It's almost like this, when you do up the screws in the wheels, it bulges the plastic. Okay, so if you over tighten those 6 screws in there, it bulges the plastic, which pinches the hub. So I'm going to just loosen those off, just a smidge, a couple of turns, and see if that allows me to undo it. Shouldn't be scratched. No, it shouldn't be. Still keen to see it good on your spot. Well, as soon as I get some nice weather, I'll take it out and see what it's like. Jesus Christ, it's like it's glued on. I don't want to use pliers on it. I'm going to take the wheel apart. I have to take the wheel apart anyway. I'm going to take the wheel apart while it's on the truck and then see if I can get a better grip on it after the wheel's off. I love the fact that it's got scale hubs. I do. I don't love the fact that you have to battle to remove stuff. You shouldn't have to swap out a new body. No, exactly right. You shouldn't. You should just be able to buy the truck, get it, be all excited, and open it and go, woo! Check out my new truck. Put pictures on Facebook everywhere because you're pumped about it. Not put pictures on Facebook of scratches because you're disappointed. It's just how it is. Right. Oh, one more to go. the screw-on hubs shouldn't be this difficult to remove either. Holy poop, Batman, I've caught you live, says Chris Lewis. Okay, so, why are you so tight? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I got it. What a pain in the arse. Been pissed out in Victoria. Yeah, it's been pretty average here too. Shroomster, pretty average. Andrew, right, gang. Got to take the kids to the pool. Not a toilet joke either. No worries, mate. Have fun with the kiddies. Go and have a good time at the pool. Right. I'm totally doing this back to front now. But anyway. Lovely. 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 I'll put those together after the stream. It's going to take me too much time faffing around with it, and I just want to get these wheels on so I can show you guys what they look like. Okie dokes. Next bead lock, please. Forgot to care for appearance over running abilities. There was a thing I said to Hannah before today's stream, and I mentioned it yesterday a bit too, where the Gen 8 is $300 US. Okay? Now a lot of you guys know I'm not particularly fond of the Gen 8, but it is $300 US. The Gen 8 has full inner fender flares from start to finish. It doesn't flex as much. The plastic quality is better, and it's $50 cheaper. Then you've got the body on the Gen 8, which has 16 light buckets. This has got 4. This has got... Even Hannah looked at this today and said, those headlight things are ugly. What are they? I said, well, you tell me. What do you prefer, this or the style that's on the Gen 8? She said, well, that one, it looks like real lights. Do you know if the servo holder is in the upgraded plastic parts? I've got no idea. I know Samex has released brass ball ends for these trucks, because for those that don't know, these trucks have plastic ball ends, and they are... This is the same as the other one. They are very floppy. Okay? There's too much movement in those. I'll close up cam so you guys know I'm not talking shit, because apparently some people like to think I'm just doing that all the time. Okay? Let me refocus the camera. Okay? I'm now going to just move the diff a little bit. See the movement in the ball end? That shouldn't be a thing. Okay? So, it's little things like this. If they were metal ball ends that were snug, that'd be great. I couldn't whinge about it. If the plastic quality was better, I couldn't whinge about it. If it had full fender flares, like, you guys would really be onto something. You know? It's like, why give us a truck that's $50 more expensive, but comes with less than the Gen 8? These are things to take into consideration. You know, I say these things and I get all sorts of nonsense back from it. But when you look at it, these are just the facts, people. Okay, that there. It's just how it is. Yep, I have the Gen 8 TRX4 Bronco and the Enduro. Enduro's a tad flimsy. Yep. The Scout is a licensed body, the Element is not. Now, you can say the Element, this is the Element's first crawler. I'm sorry, who designed it? Who worked on Element is a small company of Team Associated who have been around for 40 plus years. They know how to build a truck. Okay? They know how to build a truck. There is no excuse. With the people they had working on this truck, there is no excuse. That's my opinion. Now these guys are the big names in crawling. And like, when I say that, I mean the people that worked on the truck, or designed it and so forth. They're the big names in crawling. So I shouldn't be complaining about loose ball ends, not enough chassis braces, poor plastic qualities, no inner fenders, and it costing $50 more than that truck there. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you. I've also had people say to me, because I mentioned yesterday, that with overdrive, it changes how your truck drives on side hill. They are buggy and race, not crawlers. Yes, but that's my point being, Chris. Team Associated themselves know how to build a quality product. Okay? And then they've got, so that they know how to build a quality product, and then they bring in guys that worked for Axial. I don't know how many people from Axial went, but I know there's at least one that came from Axial, and the other people that were working on the truck know crawlers. So they know how to build a truck. It's like they said, well, screw it, don't worry about this bit, don't worry about that. It's going to be cheaper if we just leave that off. But you get less truck than what you get with the Gen 8. That doesn't make sense to me. And I'm sure I'm shitting on some parades, I'm sure of it, because this is their first truck, and, you know, I'm sure they wanted their release to go awesomely, and etc. and so on. But, exactly right. Jim, you've actually nailed that, Jim. The associated CR12. That's a crawler. That's made by Team Associated. Well thought out, Jim. I forgot about that truck. I did. So well played, sir. And Streamlab said, please refrain from using foul language. So, in my opinion, there's no excuse. This truck should have been better. This particular one is an improvement over that one, and I'm going to keep driving this home because I know the shit's it's coming. I just know it is. Oh, come off, Wex. Okay. I'm going to have to check the other one now too. Bloody hell. So, this is something I didn't notice, and this is what I think Jim mentioned. This is something I didn't notice the other day. Now, for those that don't know, this truck has two Allen bolts, button head Allen bolts, that are designed to hold the bearing in. Bearing in the end of the axle. Okay? You can see the outside of the bearing, and you can see the outside of the bolt. Is that actually holding it in? That's the only thing those bolts are there to do, is hold that bearing in. So, how's that a thing? Sorry. I'm trying to bring it up closer to my own face so I can see it better. It looks to me like that bolts... Those bolts hold the entire axle in. Okay, close up cam. So I'm gonna have to find some shims or something, because this isn't good enough either. You guys feel free to keep telling me on Facebook that I'm full of shit and I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? You keep doing that. Now, if I can get this to focus right on that axle, that'd be lovely. Pay attention to the bearing, okay? Now, I know it's not coming all the way out, but that bearing is moving. If I pull that hard enough, I reckon I can get that out. So, still think this is the best RTR in the market? Facebooks? Well, I can honestly say between that crap between the pathetic plastic, between the lack of what you get for your money, the scratches on the body, the steering link hitting the third link, I will never ever buy an Element RC again. I don't care if they release a new one and it's fantastic. I'm not going to buy one. Okay? I'm not going to buy one to give it away. I'm not going to buy one for myself. This truck is a joke. How does someone design bolts to hold a bearing into a truck and I can damn near pull that out. With a few runs and a bit of sand and dirt and shit in there, if that takes a smidgen off that bolt head, that's coming out. Okay? What the shit is that? Yet I still have people telling me on Facebook this is the best thing in the world. I'm sorry, but it's not. I will never, ever buy an Element RC again. This truck is a joke. Element, if you watch this and you would like to correct all the issues, the body, the bumpers, some sort of fix for the axle... Oh. It's just for you, Tristan. Okay? Element, if you watch this and you would like to make this truck right and give me some sort of hope in your company again, 2 bodies, 4 bumpers, some form of way of holding these bearings in properly that you will release and give away to anyone that buys one of these trucks, because that is disgraceful. That is bloody disgraceful. It's as simple as a little brass or thin bloody metal gasket that goes across, your 2 bolts go into it, that's just bigger than the axle that's coming through it. That's all it's got to be. That's simple. Yet that was overlooked. It's bloody disgraceful. If you watch this stream and you don't agree with me and you think this is the best thing in the world, I feel sorry for you going and spend your money on this truck. I'm sorry, but I do. Because one day, that axle's just going to let go unless you pull it out and put washers on it. This isn't RTA, remember people, it's not a kit. It's just not good enough. And I was liking this truck more because the shocks feel nicer in this truck. The steering link doesn't hit on this one, but it does on the other truck. It's not good enough. Pick up your game, guys, because if you don't, you guys are going to fail hard in this industry. Yes, I'm going to have to put some... They can't be too thick because I don't want to push the bolts out too far and then hit the wheel hex. So I've got to make sure that I have the right size washers to help to make sure the bearing stays in so my axle doesn't fall out and my truck doesn't look like cheap shit on the trails. I tried to stay positive yesterday and I tried to stay positive today, but the more I dig deeper into this truck, the more I'm disappointed. It's not good enough. I've driven rock crawlers for years, at least 5 years recreationally. I've done some comp crawling, but I don't like it because there's too many dickheads that take the piss out of everyone's truck and put people down, okay? So I don't do that. I've built 30-something trucks that I've got here. God knows how many I've already sold. I've driven boats, I've driven race cars, I've driven crawlers, I've driven semi-trucks. I've got experience in the field, okay? I've spent a shag ton of money, more than I'd like to admit. I know when something is terrible quality, it's put together bad, it's terribly designed. Fix it. It's not good enough. I'm so pissed with this truck right now because I've got 2 of them that I have to fix and make what I would personally call good enough to send to one of the BCRC community so I know that they're going to be happy with it. I don't want to buy a brand new fixer-upper. Please, fix your truck and do it properly. I'm so pissed off with that. I shouldn't have to fix this stuff. I'm going to bolt the wheels on and later tonight I'm going to find washers and I'm going to fix both the trucks again. Can you guys out there understand why I'm so worked up and pissed about this particular truck? It's a joke. And if someone from Element contacts me and says call customer service, I'm going to take this truck and put it where the sun doesn't shine, okay? I shouldn't find this many faults with a brand new RTR truck from a company that should know better. I just shouldn't. I've got about a... Where's my ruler? Okay, so I have to put washers now in between this axle, and there's movement. We take it from the closest point. I have 0.5 millimetre to work with. 0.5 millimetre to work with is what I have. I'll be checking the other one, Jim. Just what a bloody disgrace. At least it's got nice wheels now, I guess. That's something. I can't wait for someone to argue the point with me on this one. I love RC. I love streaming. I love hanging out with you guys, and we have a laugh and we have fun. In the last 2 days, I've done the most annoying, frustrating streams in the history of BCRC. And it's all down to this truck. If you buy the chassis kit, it comes with metal shock tops. But the RTR doesn't. It comes with plastic ones. If you want to buy... I was gobsmacked. A dude messaged me today and we chatted about this. At first, he hated my stream yesterday. And then he watched all of it. And then he's like, I can see where you're coming from. I'd be pretty pissed off too. If you want to put metal shock caps on the top of these shocks, $33 US. 33. It's like, the more and more I delve into this truck, it's like, let's release a subpar truck. And then let's release lots of parts so that we can bring in extra money from the spare parts division. That's not how you build a truck. You only build spare parts should someone break something, okay? You don't build a truck dependent on spare parts. The fact that you put soft plastic parts in this truck and you made hard plastic ones is a disgrace. I'm so pissed with this truck. It's just not good enough. It's 2019, guys. Rock crawlers have been out for how long? Tamiya. I've got a Tamiya CC01 sitting up here. It was made in 1993. It has the factory gears in it. It has better quality plastics than this. What the hell? How is that a thing? It's like the G-Made bomb transmission failed not so long ago. They released a second version of that transmission, I believe, Bob. Brian Potts bought one of those trucks, and he said to me, "I'm not a fan of this transmission, of how it goes together. It seems really weird." I said, "Contact them, dude. Maybe they can sort something out for you." And I believe, free of charge, they sent him a new, updated design transmission, and he was really happy after that. I'd like to say you saved me money, but I'd just be buying something else. If you're out there and you were going to buy one of these trucks, and because of this video or the one yesterday you're not going to, I'm happy to help you save your money. I really am. I felt bad for this much yesterday when I got contacted by Element. This long. This long's how much I felt bad for it, and I thought, no, I shouldn't feel bad. Because it cost me a beeping fortune to get these trucks here. And they're both shit. You can't even get the hub. Oh, there it goes. Jesus. That's not... I'm just going to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to end up dropping a bomb that I wouldn't like anyone else dropping on the stream. So what's everyone else doing right now while we're streaming? I have an XS02 coming, Heister. I will be unboxing the XS02 on the stream. And I'm pumped about it. You know why? Because I know it's not going to be shit. So, the XS02 will be unboxed on the stream. There are 11 hard plastic upgrades on the market. 11. Bob, could you be a gentleman and add up for me the cost of the 11? Add up the cost for me of the 11 upgrade parts and the shock tops. Could you do that for me, mate? Oh, and some metal ball ends. If you could do that for me, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm sorry, guys, if I get frustrated and annoyed. I am sorry. But if this truck was built better, it wouldn't be an issue. I don't know why I'm pulling this wheel apart like this. I think it's just because it's easier. I could have took the wheel off first, but this seems to be the easiest way to pull these wheels apart. Because it can't move. I expect better things. I expect better things. I'm sure you guys do at home too. And if you don't, I don't even know what to say. Can't wait for the flack from this one. It's coming. I know it's coming. Hans is sitting here watching in disgust at the crap. Hans, would you spend your money on it, mate? I'm sure, for anyone that's in the chat, let me know how many other reviews you've watched of this truck. Let me know if they were all the same sort of suck up elements ass review. Okay? Let me know if they were those sorts of reviews and what sort of review you prefer, mine or theirs. You let me know if my sort of review is the sort of review that will help you spend or not spend your money compared to the other reviews that you've seen. I'm glad to know the wheels clear the steering with plenty of room. On a positive, my 3D printer's going Mickey Mouse. What a joke. One guy shouldn't find this many issues with the truck. I know Jim pointed out the axle one, and Jesus, I'm glad you did, because that bearing was coming 1.5 to 2 millimeters out of the axle housing. Like, how is this not picked up? When your first axle housing is pumped out, and you build the axle, don't you look at it and go, shit, that bolt's not holding on much, is it? It is like just grasping. It's almost like there's a hair stuck between the bolt and the bearing, and that's the only thing holding it. Shroom stuff from such a massive company trying to branch out in a new direction, it's disgusting. I'm glad you guys agree. Hans would prefer to buy something from a review like mine. Much appreciated, Hans. Glad to hear it. That way. I can't fathom it. I can't fathom this truck anymore. Like, to the point where people abuse me on Facebook and abusing my knowledge of RC because they don't agree with my opinion on this truck. Really, fellas? These are grown men. All those ones I've seen that have been suck-up ones all the time, actually, all the ones I have seen have been suck-up ones. About time I actually seen a done proper one. So I said I was going to do, man. And isn't it amazing how many people don't like the truth? I feel bad for the people out there that bought them before the truck was released. I honestly feel bad. And I'm sorry, but I said I was going to do an honest review, and that's what I've done. And then some. If this is what they release, I will never ever buy anything Element again. Element, if you release a V2 of this truck, and you would like my opinion on it, I'll give an honest opinion, and I'll give the truck away. If you watch this. So that way, if you do a revision and it's a better truck, I can say, you know what? They've done it. They have shocked me, they have surprised me, they have rectified any issues I could see with the previous version, and now here. I'll be happy to give this to one of you guys so you can enjoy it. The challenge has been dropped. Because otherwise, there's not a chance I'd buy another Element again. Not a chance. Right. After I put these wheels on, we're going to call it quits because I'm really frustrated. I'm sorry, but I'm frustrated. I shouldn't be. RC's about fun. Make me a fun truck that works. I'm sure it works. Make me a fun truck that's built properly. But I can't sit here and point faults out with every 2 seconds. The list of stuff that's wrong with this truck is just far too long. The packaging, shit. The plastic, shit. The quality control, shit. The axle holders, shit. The massive gap in the chassis. The chassis design, for the most part, is okay. But the material that's in it is terrible. The massive chasm here is terrible. Song for the day, don't worry, be happy. Bloody oath, pal. You're a good friend, mate. You are a good friend. For those that don't know, Pal's been a member of BCRC since the very beginning. RC Scrap Garage is Pal. Do you want me to check the other one on the stream? Because I don't know if I want to. It could be the straw, man. It could be the final straw. So for those that don't know, in the next live stream, I'm going to change this goal. Okay, that's going to disappear. That's not going to be here in every stream. I'm going to change the goal, and the gold truck is going to be, for a giveaway, a Cross RC SU4C, which is the Primo Prem, full-scale hard-body truck, full detailed interior, full light kit, CNC diffs, CNC bead blocks, the whole kit. That's going to be our next goal, which I'm pumped about, because I know whoever gets that truck's going to love it. And this is the thing, as a lot of you guys know, and a lot of you guys in the chat have done, I have people message me daily, and they say to me, should I buy this cross truck? And I'll say, right, the PG4, I've got another PG4 coming, I bought another one. Okay, Rob had one left, it's mine, Rob. Oh, it's mine, I'm buying it. So, that's coming. I tell people, you buy a cross truck because there's something special about a cross truck, okay? You get so much value for money with your cross truck. You get metal bead blocks. You get, this is just the PG4 for example, metal bead blocks, decent tyres. The shocks are a little shitty, and I said that to Cross, and I said that in my unbox it. But you can get cheap upgrade ones, the Cross make, that are really good. You get a full hard body, full light kit, waterproof receiver box, full battery tray. What else? I know there's more. Full metal links, metal steering links, a chassis that doesn't just want to snap in half. The amount of stuff you get for your money is tenfold over something like this. It just is. Well, we've got 3 wheels on. Now for the finale. Let's see if I can undo this one. Jesus. Did I not do that up? Jesus. See how flustered I am? I didn't even do the wheel nut up. T-Man. At least I'm laughing, I guess. That's something. I put that whole wheel on. Put the hub cover and everything on it. Didn't put the wheel nut on it. I'm so flustered. Rough total, $111. $110. Is that Australian or US, Bob? Because depending on where you looked at the prices... I'll just bolt this one on this side. God, I can't believe I did that. $110. Okay, so this truck costs $350. $350 US dollars. Plus $110 for... Well, it's got to be more than that, surely. The shock caps are $33 US dollars each. Oh, for the set. Anyway, so that's $100 for shits and giggles. This truck costs $350 US dollars, and you see how much you don't get with it. The Cross RC FR4C that comes with CNC aluminum diffs, CNC bead locks, decent tyres, full front and rear light kit, with detailed proper scale light buckets, decent grill, much better than these grills with proper light buckets in them. Full inner fenders all the way front and back. It's $110 US dollars. Okay. That truck up the back there is $450 US dollars. It's a kit. You build it yourself. Okay. Now I know it's a kit versus RTR, but you're better off spending, if you're going to buy this truck and put all the hard plastic upgrades on it, you buy that truck that's fully upgraded with CNC diffs, the whole kit and caboodle. That's what you buy. I think the idea is to give you an RTR in a sense that it's a builder's RCR, if that makes sense. Because you always make your changes. Here in Portugal, they cost €390. I get what you're saying. I just read Jim's comment. God, I hope this doesn't come out. That one is slightly better, Jim. Slightly. So, is the bearings the same size or the bolts different sizes? How does that work? I can still see the outside ring all the way around, which I shouldn't be able to. Anyway, this side is slightly better. Axle mount servo is the best. That's got an axle mount servo. You do get better performance with an axle mount servo. You get better scale with a chassis mount. I'd prefer to add an axle mount servo, if I'm honest, because you do get better performance. These are just the cold hard facts, people. Cold hard facts. God, those wheels are pretty. If you're interested in a set of wheels like this, Trill Hobby. Find them on Facebook. Tell them I sent you. I don't know if it'll do anything for you, but tell them anyway. Alright. Let me quickly smash these up. I've got one more to build. Because apparently I was so flustered I didn't even put the bolt on one of them. I didn't put the hub cover on it. Oh, come on. I'm annoying myself now. Annoying myself. I love scale hub covers, but geez, they can be shit sometimes. There we go. Hopefully, once the first one started, you're all set. I think the hole's the any info on the giveaway. Okay, so to enter the giveaways, there's a list that I create in the Facebook group. And to enter the list, there is a PayPal link that don't donate now. Please. Don't donate for an entry until you see the list and until you've commented on the list and I have contacted you. You've been warned. If you donate with the link that's in the description, that'll go towards this goal, which would be lovely. If you'd like to, that'd be awesome. If you want to enter the competition, wait for the list that will be popped up with a picture of the truck and it'll say giveaway details or giveaway list. You need to read every single instruction to the letter. Okay? And this is just to help me so that I don't get so frustrated when people just drop donations without commenting on the list and then go, I want these numbers, but they're already gone because other people that did it correctly have picked the numbers. So essentially, just wait for the list to come up in the group. If you're not a part of it, it's Burton's Custom RC Builds on Facebook. If you're the sort of bloke that likes to join a Facebook group and take the piss out of people's trucks and big note yourself, don't join. It goes for anyone out there. If you're the sort of person that likes helping people, that likes to have fun, no matter what the RC is, join. You'll come and have fun. When are you going to wheel it? That's all weather dependent. Basically. Bear with me 1 second, people. God, there's some stupid people out there. More chassis flex means more traction. Okay, mate. On a lighter note, wondering how much was your 3D printer? What's the setup like? It's an M3. I got it off catch.com.au. Cost me $339, I believe it was. When you first, this is my experience, when you first start with a 3D printer, the first print, after you level the bed and such, awesome. You pump out a few more prints, you'll touch the print bed with your fingers and put oil and grease all over it, and then stuff won't stick. You'll have afros printing on your bed, and it's really frustrating. Okay? Level your bed before every 1 or 2 prints. To do it, you grab, this is what I use, if it's, let me, I don't know where my actual sheet's gone. But anyway, as an example, use a decal sheet. Slide it under your nozzle. You wind up the bed until there's a vibration friction. That's what I do. And you do that in all 4 corners, and then it's heaps better. Tristan has asked to join BCRC. You are approved, my friend. You are approved. Right. So yeah, but once you get it set up fine, it's good. It's pretty damn good. And look on AliExpress for your reels of filament. I got that reel for $22 Australian delivered. I've not had to touch it once. The last reel I got, I paid $30-something for as a discount. Down at J-Car, and it was trash. The way it was wrapped, it was terrible. BCRC means now Burton customised real crap. Okay, Burton fixes Element RC. Time to go to work. Have a great day. No worries, mate. Thanks very much for joining. I at least hope it wheels good. It should wheel fine. I'm sure it will. But that's not the only thing you look at when you buy a truck. If you go to a car dealership, right, you spend $50,000 on a brand new car. Oh, brand new car. Looks like a total bucket of shit that you'd be embarrassed to get in, but drives as smooth as silk. Are you happy with it? That's what turns up. You look at a nice shiny car in the car yard. Rusty bucket of shit turns up, but it drives well. Do you say, hey, at least it drives well? No, you don't. You say, excuse me, sir, I ordered the new version of this car. Do you happen to have that in stock? People don't think of these things. There's too many people that are so quick just to try and discredit whatever you say. Like the bloke on Facebook just then. Oh, chassis flex is a good thing. Yeah, a little bit is. So everything doesn't just break. But it can't be that flexible that it feels like it's going to fall apart. I love people. Vince says, thanks mate, you're a champion. My pleasure, buddy. My pleasure. I'm saying it needs some redemption. Look, if I take it out and it drives like the best thing in the world, I will... I'm not going to turn around and go, oh yeah, it's the best thing ever. I'll say, okay, the truck drives really well for what it is, but it still needs improvement. Would I buy one? No. This thing could outwheel any of my trucks, and I still wouldn't buy one. Because it's one of those things too. It's like I literally, I just said that if you went to the shop and you bought a brand new car and an old looking piece of shit turned up but it drove better than the brand new car, you're not going to keep it. You're not going to be just going, oh, well, it drives better, so I'll just have the piece of shit looking thing. Cold hard facts. Take a scalers or use glass of 4mm thick. I've ordered some magnetic trays. You know what I mean? Beds. And glass is the next on my list. Hans, got to go back to bed for some shut-eye before work tonight. See you all. No worry, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. You're a BCRC trooper, mate. You're one of the good ones. Hannah says, not Hans. I don't know how long Hannah's been watching. I assume she got bored for a while and then took off and come back. Didn't you, dear? Right, so once I put this wheel on, we're pretty much going to shut up shop for the night. Whew. The next stream I do will probably be tomorrow morning, probably, if not Tuesday. I'm going to install the other CR24 upgrade pack, and I'm going to finish the custom exhaust system that I've designed for my SU4C. I'm not sure if that's custom enough for some people. Probably not. Because if it's not built out of styrene, it's not custom apparently. People amaze me. Lovely. Right. RC Mart have matched the racing front and rear bumper bars for the Element. What do you mean, mate? Oh, have matching, you mean? Have matching ones? I'll check the rear of the first truck. Oh, yeah, hang on. Let me quickly put this together. Sorry, man. We get really distracted on these streams. It's so easy to get distracted because I'm doing one thing and then 3 or 4 people comment different things that they'd like to see or talk about, which is fine. And then I sort of just get lost in the world of talking about stuff and try and, you know how it is. Stay still, little rug blanket thing. So yes, Jim, I will check that for you, mate. Now remember, this truck and the one that's sitting just down there were built in line. The model numbers are one apart. So the one that's down there was built first, and then this one was built. For those that weren't here earlier, the steering link on the first one hits the upper front link. On this truck it doesn't. The suspension on the shocks on the first truck feel lazy, squishy, not squishy. They just feel lazy, and it's just really slow and dense. Whereas these ones feel heaps better. So I'm a little bit surprised as to why there's so much difference between 2 trucks that come from one after the other on the from the factory as options for the Element. Okay. I mean, I'm not surprised. Samix has already pumped out brass ball ends, which, if I had time, I'd order some and put them in both the trucks for the people that are getting them. But unfortunately, people want these trucks quicker than that, so I want to give at least one of these away next week. This one with the wheels on. I'm going to put a set of wheels on the other one too. I just haven't decided which ones yet. Just because I'm that nice a guy. I'm sure there's people lowing in the chat right now to themselves. Dennis, I never got notified about the stream. WTF. Sorry, mate. You might want to watch this one back from the start. You might want to. We unboxed the second truck to reveal that it has scratches on the roof. Not as bad as the first one, but it does. The body posts aren't bent. The bumpers are scratched. The back one's not as bad as the other back one. The shocks on this truck feel better than the other truck. The steering link on this one doesn't hit, whereas it does on that one, on the third upper link. What else was there? Oh, the bolts. The bolts that hold the bearings and the axles in the diff. On this one, I can pull the bearing about 2mm out of the diff. So stuff and things. And things and stuff. Is there a serious difference? Yeah. Yeah, mate. For two trucks that were built, one directly after the other, too many differences. Too many. I'm sure someone will comment on this later and go, Al, you can't build everything perfectly. Okay, pay me to do it. I'll gladly make sure that I set up every single shock the same. Because if you've got one job, that's what you do, and you do it properly. Okie dokes. So we finally have new wheels on the truck. God, that looks so much better. I'm an idiot. Let me just put that there and do a... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Amateur hour today. There you go. What do you think of that? Does that look better? This servo doesn't like being moved by your fingers, apparently. So there you go. We'll put some new wheels on the Element. That looks 50,000 times better. 50,000 times better. That makes the grey bearable. Sorry, my missus is coming to you much later. You're explaining things. That's all good too. It's all good. There's a delay. There's not much we can do about that. So, what do you think of that? Compared to... Just grab the front. Compared to this. If these were silver or chrome coated, they would look heaps better than the gold. I don't get why there's gold wheels on a grey looking truck. Like, it looks heaps better. And because of the offset of these wheels, the tyres don't rub the body near as much. Look. Look. For the most part, it's not touching it. Yet, with the factory setup, it nearly rips the body to pieces. Just another one of my little things I didn't like about this truck. But there you go, kids. Much better. Good. Right, now for Jim. For Jim, I'm going to pop a wheel off the other truck and I'm going to see if I can move the axle. Trill for the win, hands down. Trill makes some bloody nice wheels, man. If you haven't already, on Facebook, Trill Hobby, look up their page, give them a like and a share and check out what they do. They make some really nice stuff. Later on this week, I'm finally going to give away those Trill Gen 8 brass upgrades, so stay tuned because I'm just going to give them away to someone in the stream. It's not going to be a wheel, nothing like that. Watch the streams, you can win yourself some Gen 8 bits. Okie dokes. Let me see if I can undo this thing. Okay. Oh, this one's loose because I opened this yesterday. Right. This is for what? What's the offset of the wheels? I couldn't tell you. Honestly. I couldn't tell you. But what I will say is, look at the dish on these. Look at the dish on these wheels. It's no wonder. No wonder they rub everywhere. Those wheels look so much nicer. That truck legit looks classier. With those wheels on it that aren't poking out a mile, they're not as dished. Heaps nicer. Simple things that make the difference. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to test both sides of this because on that truck, when I pulled on the axle, I could pull the... Well, take up, forgot. Love your honest opinion. Keep it up. My pleasure, mate. Mud Man's with us. Hello, Mud. What's your first name, dude? We'd like to try and talk to everyone here by their first name. This one looks very much the same as that on this side. Jim? It'll move about half a millimetre on this side. So it's not that bad. Now I'm going to find out on the other side. So where's everybody from? For those that just joined us, it's not going to be too long and we're going to shut up shop. Sorry, but I'm going to go and have some dinner. I'm getting hungry. It's actually past dinner time. Things I do. Right, so I'm going to take one more bit off the other side of this truck and see how well it fits. And then I'll see how well that the bolts are holding the bearing that hold the axle in. Because on that truck, on one side, I could pull the axle towards me like 2 millimetres, which shouldn't happen. I got really quite upset about that. Because it was just yet another thing that I'm disappointed about with this truck. I missed it. Who's Mud Mad? What's your first name, dude? What's your first name, man? Start again. I don't think so. Jesus. I'm not kidding you. They're that tight. It's like someone's gone bit of glue and then done them up. Steamboat's from Perth. Jim's from Iowa in the USA. It's 5:08 a.m. Did I wake you up, mate? Stephen. Awesome, Stephen. I'll try and remember, mate. Where are you from, Steve? Where are you from, mate? You joined at a good time, Stephen, because I'm not near as frustrated now as I was earlier. I'll give you the tip. And this one looks the same as the first one. Oh, it's bloody Steve, the winner of the Mazda. That one moves about a millimetre as well, Jim. But it looks like it wouldn't take much for that one to be like that one. Steve Petrosovsky, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So I'm going to have to put bushings in all of these. My print's finished. For those wondering, I just printed another one of these braces for that truck. So that's how that is, Steve. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, I'll quickly show you. Okay. You see here, these two bolts are supposed to hold this bearing, okay? Now you can see how very little these bolts are holding of that bearing. You can see the full ring on the outside of the bearing. And that's what's holding it. Now you think, you get a little bit of mud, dirt, and water in here, a bit of sand, and that starts scratching around in there. It's not going to be too difficult before it takes enough of the edge off this bolt, and then your axle can just be pulled out of the truck. This was the final straw, okay? Go back and watch it from the start if you missed it. This was the straw that said, I will not buy another Element product until they start building things properly. Okay? Dennis, why does Element seem to think that this lack of quality control is acceptable? Because of hype. I don't know. Because it's not. It's not acceptable. And it was enough for me to get rather frustrated. Doesn't matter if it's an easy fix, Steve. Doesn't matter. This is an RTR truck, mate. Ready to run. Battery in it, drive it. You remember when I all got pissed off about the Gen 8 because that's an RTR, but before you drove that you had to fix the steering. You had to space your wheels out so they didn't touch the steering wheel. Doesn't matter how easy of a fix it is. Think about it this way, Steve, alright? I'll give you a hypothetical. I don't know if you've got a sister. Your sister buys one of these trucks for her young fella. I don't know if you've got a sister or if she's got a kid, but it's a hypothetical. Your sister buys one for the young fella for his birthday. And he just takes it out and drives it. And then shit just starts falling off. Are you going to be a bit pissed? Are you going to be pissed that you're driving down the track and because the other truck's worse for this, I can pull the bearing out 2 millimeters. Are you going to be pissed that parts are just falling off the truck? Pretty integral parts? I know I would be. I'm harsh on this truck because there's so much hype built up behind it. Bob, this is what I said earlier, mate. A tiny little plate. Let me see. Oh, I don't know if I've got a pen. Let me quickly see if I've got a pen, and I'll show you a 2-second fix for that problem that the company could have done. It probably would have cost them 1 cent per piece. Okay, probably 5, but I'd rather pay the extra 5 cents. So this is the thing. You'd be pissed, man, if you bought one for yourself and you went down the trail and that axle just fell out. You'd be like, what the beep? You know? And then, how shitty does that make your truck look when you're out with your mates and they've all got SCX10s, TRX4s, cross trucks, whatever else, and none of their axles are falling out of the trucks? You know what I mean? I've got a Sharpie. I've got a bit of paper. Okay, this will do. Okay, so... This is a really rough sketch. If they made one little plate like that, okay, the top hole is for the top bolt to go through. The bottom hole is for the bottom hole to go through. The middle hole is for the axle to go through. You slide that on, you do your 2 bolts up. That plate is only just bigger than the axle itself. Therefore, it holds the bearing in. I can design a pretty one if you want, but that's how it should have been. And it can only be about 1 millimetre thick, because if it's any thicker, then your bolts are going to hit the wheel hex because of the movement. Okay, so really quickly, for those that joined us late, I'll take the body off this one. Okay, stay there, don't put any more scratches on it. So this one, this truck here, 008541. This truck, 008542. This truck was made immediately after this truck. The suspension in this truck is horrible. It feels doughy, just lazy. The suspension in this truck feels heaps nicer. Why? They sent out the steel bolts to replace the pins. What bolts? What pins? I haven't been sent anything. I bought it directly from Element. So why, if they were sending out stuff to fix things on their truck that they knew was an issue, why didn't they go, shit, John, I bought 2 of these trucks, we posted them to him. We better send him a message and say, or we just go, John, I just mailed you these parts in the post. Put them on your trucks before you give them away. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, the thing that gets me with it, the steering link on this truck doesn't hit the top link. Steering link on this truck does hit the top link. Why? These trucks were built one, then the other. I'm not going to go over it all now because it'll be 10 o'clock before I finish the stream, and I'll go and have some dinner because I'm hungry. I suggest, if you haven't, go and watch from the start. I unboxed this truck today to find that this truck also has scratches all over the roof. Not quite as bad as the other one, but it does have it. On the suspension holder, the lower suspension arms. Is that another issue I've never heard of? Jesus. I'll look that up. Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, see what I was talking about. Yep, cool. All good, never mind. So this one did come with scratches as well, which is shit. The bumper's got scratches on it too. The body posts aren't bent, so that's a positive. I'm happy about that. Now you'll notice I've smashed a set of bead locks on this truck, which one improves the look of it tenfold. Because that looks heaps better. 2, stops the tyres from rubbing the body near as much, so that's an awesome bonus. The back still touches a bit on full compression, but there's not much you can do about that because the tyres are so fat. This is going to be the first giveaway truck. This is going to be the second giveaway truck. I'm personally going to go out and drive this one, film it, so I can do what's it really like. I've no doubt it'll drive just fine. Okay, lots of people saying, "Oh, I love it, it's awesome, drives really good." I'll find out. I'll go and drive it. I'll try and be gentle on it, so I don't put any more scratches on the body than it's already got. Yeah. And then I'm going to put a set of bead locks on this one too. I don't know which ones yet. I'm going to pick some of my own personal bead locks. They're in my drawer of many things. Put on the truck. Yeah, sorry, Stephen. My bad, mate. My bad. And I'm also going to have, both the trucks are going to have the 3D printed lift. God damn, that's stuck. The 3D printed bracket, okay, in the chassis. Look at the close-up cam there, you can see that bad boy. Both trucks are going to have that. And both trucks are going to have my personal design for the cab tub clamp. Okay? You will have the factory ones in the box. These beasts. Maybe you can put black ones on. I'll see what I've got in the drawer. That's what it's going to come down to. I've also got a 1.9, so I can just use these tyres. I'm still really on the fence with these trucks. I personally, until they do something better, would not buy another Element product. That's just me. If you want to go and buy one, that's fine. I pray for you that it doesn't fall to pieces on the trail. Okay? It may be all well and good to take these trucks out and drive them for 2 weeks and go, "Oh, it's epic. It just takes all the shit." That's not going to tell you much. It's not until you live with these things properly that you're going to know whether it's actually any good. Okay? Alright. I think I covered a lot of stuff today, a lot of stuff that I didn't want to cover. More frustration. Thank you everyone for watching. It's very much appreciated. If you like the stream, if you like these types of reviews and honest opinions on things, give it a like, give it a share. Help more people see that you can't just have fluffed up bloody videos saying, "Oh, this truck's awesome and wonderful," because it's just not. It's just not. It's a big disappointment. I'd rather buy a Gen 8, and that's really, never thought I'd say that ever. I'd rather buy a Gen 8 because you get more truck for your money, and that's not taking portals into account either. Alright, I'm going to rate a lot if I keep going. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it, and we shall see you on the next BCRC live stream.